Hello friends, today I'll show you how to make this pumpkin caramel macarons. They are filled with pumpkin caramel buttercream and pumpkin caramel sauce. You heard that right, there's pumpkin in the caramel sauce, it's amazing. Also, those shells are my favorite fall colors. If you like this video, leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, I post new videos every week. Start by placing a bowl over a pan with barely simmering water. Add sugar to the bowl and I'm also adding egg white powder. It's totally optional but makes for beautiful shells. It's good to give the egg white powder and sugar a whisk before adding the egg whites because the egg white powder tends to clump up. Once you add the egg whites, whisk the mixture over the double boiler for 1 to 2 minutes, just until the sugar melts. Use your finger to fill the mixture, and if you don't feel any sugar granules between your fingers, you can remove from the heat. Transfer it to a mixer and begin to whip on low for a few seconds. Gradually increase the speed to medium and then to medium-high. I like to finish whipping my meringue on speed 6 or 8 of the KitchenAid. I'm not always patient to wait for it to whip on speed 6, to be honest. Find out the speed that works best for you. I used to whip on high before, but I feel a slight difference in the final product if I whip on medium or medium-high. And when it comes to macarons, the difference lies in the small details. Anyway, whip the meringue until stiff peaks are achieved. The peaks should be shooting straight up and not bent down to the side. For these macarons, I made several batches to obtain all the colors you saw at the beginning, but I will show you how I made 2 colors out of 1 batch, the orange and the dark red. First, we will add the sifted almond flour and powdered sugar to the bowl with the meringue. Then we're going to stir until we see no more dry ingredients in the meringue. Don't stir any further than that. As soon as you don't see any dry ingredients, stop stirring. Then we will divide the semi-stirred batter between 2 different bowls. And let's work with 1 bowl at a time, keeping the other bowl covered meanwhile so it doesn't dry out. To this first bowl, we're going to add the orange food coloring, and then we're going to stir until we achieve the perfect consistency. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. The batter should be flowing slowly but effortlessly off the spatula. You should be able to draw several figure eights with the batter that's flowing before it breaks up. And even after it breaks up, still continues to flow off the spatula. Then transfer the batter to a piping bag fitted with a round piping tip and set it aside. Now let's work with the other batter. For this batter, I added carmine and a little bit of orange. And then do the same thing, stir until the perfect consistency is achieved. The batter should be flowing slowly but effortlessly off the spatula. Transfer the batter to a piping bag fitted with a round piping tip. And now let's begin to pipe. Place the bag directly 90 degrees over the center of each circle template. Apply pressure for about 3 seconds and then pull the bag up. Then bang the trays against the counter to release any air bubbles, and also use a toothpick to poke any remaining air bubbles from the surface of the macarons. Let the macarons rest for 20 to 40 minutes until they feel dry to the touch. If you touch a macaron and it doesn't stick to your finger, you can bake. I bake my macarons at 325 for 15 to 18 minutes. Time baking and temperature are going to vary depending on your oven. Now let's make the pumpkin caramel sauce. Add sugar to a saucepan with a heavy bottom. Begin to stir over medium heat non-stop to make sure that the sugar melts evenly. If you stop stirring, the sugar will begin to burn on certain spots. It's very important to not stop stirring the sugar. As you can see, some of the sugar has already melted and some of the sugar is still crystallized. So continue to stir so all the sugar melts. As soon as the last bit of sugar melts, the whole syrup should be darkened in color. At this point, add the heavy cream. Be very careful because it will bubble up. Then right after, add the butter and continue to stir. Once the butter has almost melted entirely, add the pumpkin puree, pumpkin spice, and salt. If you don't like pumpkin spice, you can leave that out. And if you don't want salted caramel, you can also leave the salt out. Then remove it from the heat and continue to stir until smooth. Pour it in a bowl and let it cool down all the way before using. Now I will show you how to make the pumpkin caramel buttercream. Only make this once the caramel sauce has cooled down all the way. Begin by creaming the butter and the cream cheese with a mixer at medium-high speed until fluffy. Add the pumpkin caramel, more pumpkin puree, and mix to incorporate. Make sure that the pumpkin caramel is not cold from the fridge and not warm so it doesn't melt the butter. It needs to be exactly at room temperature. Then add the powdered sugar and cream until thick and fluffy. I didn't add any more pumpkin spice here, but you can add some if you want to. Also, if the buttercream is too soft, add more powdered sugar to make it thicker. The caramel and the pumpkin puree might make this a softer frosting, and you can adjust that by adding more powdered sugar to it, which will help the buttercream be firmer. Then transfer the buttercream to a piping bag, fitted with a small round tip. Pipe a ring of frosting around the edges of each bottom shell. Then, fill the middle of each macaron with some of the pumpkin caramel sauce. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. For the full recipe, go to my blog. The link will be in the description box below. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!